I would like to remind all of you, it's a good afternoon now. We have to start post-lunch session. First few things I would like to share with you. When you start preparing current affairs, especially for international area, your mind got overburdened. That's very sure. That United Nations, Interpol, International Court of Justice, so many things are there, huge area. And you generally feel lost like that where to start, where to close, so that each and every area should be covered. For that reason, that is very simple, it's common to all. But you have to draw a roadmap. For example, today I have whatever time I have right now with you, I have also roadmap with me. It is just a roadmap how to cover. In roadmap, first thing, see, once again I remind, these things are more important than class. When you attend the session, these things are more important, how to do roadmap. So, I tell you, first thing, which organization, parent organization of the, concentrate here, please. I should not remind now. क्योंकि देखो क्या है ना, when you are not listening to these roadmap and straight away I started giving you detail write up, you are simply writing and you got only what you have written. You won't be able to fly ever. Getting? It's like you are learning aviation. Simply piloting does not matter. Aviation, how to deal with turbulences, how to deal with tabletop runway where both sides are valley. When you learn technique, then you automatically will be able to cover. Like, let me tell you, United Nation is in very much always in news. Now, I am putting myself, you take advantage of it, please, as much as you can. Now, please sit down. See, as soon as you pick up United Nations, if you start simply studying, you won't be able to cover questions. So what you do, first you hear me few minutes. मैं आपको write up करा दूँगा. Otherwise, simply writing, there is no meaning of my coming here. You are wasting your time, I am wasting my time. So it should be like a roadmap should be clear to you. As soon as you got to United Nations, first question comes in mind. Why United Nations formed in 1945 itself? Yeah, I'm not asking. This way you should start hitting. Very nice of you. Start hitting. You say it is because of Second World War. Is it right answer? You'd say no, sir. It was not because of just Second World War. It was because of nuclear bombing of Japan in Second World War. That was shockwave for entire world. And the world wanted to avoid Third World War, and to avoid Third World War, world decided there has to be a strong parent organization. That organization took birth in 1945 itself, that is United Nations. Thereafter, they please have concentration. नहीं तो आप books में परेशान हो जाओगे. हम लोग, despite having so huge experience when we go through books, we first go screen out the books, whether this book has any content or not. So make sure. And why do I keep reminding you people? If you stand by my side, you will find 90% candidates very up to mark, like, yes, what it is. 10% are just like listening to. Their facial expression says they are just getting what I am speaking to. They are not able to move further. So I am trying to take them also into confidence to take them further. See here, once again. United Nations, why formed 1945? First question. It is because of nuclear bombing of Japan. That sent shock wave in the entire world. And world wanted to avoid Third World War. So there has to be a parent organization, United Nations formed. Now, only United Nations can avoid Third World War? No. You are speaking to self, then only you would be masterpiece preparation. Then you say, no. It was, World War took place because of economic disparity. Even in family also, fight between brother takes place because of economic disparity. So economic disparity was main reason. And to remove economic disparity, along with United Nations, which organization formed in sequence? Yes. देखो इसी क्लास में बहुत सारे लड़के, इफ यू आर अनकंफर्टेबल इज बिकॉज ऑफ हीट, जस्ट कम फ्रंट साइड. आर यू कंफर्टेबल प्लीज. तो देखो क्या है, नेचुरली यूनाइटेड नेशन फर्दर वी जनरेटेड डिमांड फॉर IMF, World Bank, GATT. This is for short-term loan on higher rate of interest to stabilize their exchange rate, because different currencies have different exchange. World Bank, long-term loan for infrastructure development to develop trade. Then GATT came out. GATT was multilateral trade, so that unless we trade with each other, there won't be economic prosperity. Right now, I think in this class, 10 candidates must be, I'm sure, 10 candidates must be sure that India is having record wheat production. अभी आप हमारे नॉर्दर्न इंडिया आ जाओ, आप घबरा जाओगे देख के wheat production. We have around 10 crore ton. On an average, it was 7 to 7.5 crore ton of wheat production. This year, we have having record bumper production in spite of farm agitation. We have 10 crore ton and we have a storage capacity of hardly 6.5 crore ton. Remaining is in open. So naturally we are very keen to export. We are asking Ukraine, आटा चाहिए क्या? आपको आटा चाहिए? आपको आटा चाहिए? We are asking, why so? Because we are going to export surplus wheat, and whatever money would be earning from export, the same money would be using in importing wheat when we need it. जानते हो यूपीएससी क्या पूछेगी? यूपीएससी won't ask. If you are not alert, UPSC won't ask export of wheat. They will ask you ship to mouth policy, hand to mouth policy, and when you are exporting your surplus and importing against need, what is called ship to mouth policy. Ship is getting the point, please? Exporting surplus. I repeat, whatever surplus production you have exporting, earning foreign currency, keeping here, and as soon as there is a scarcity of wheat, you are importing wheat from outside by paying the same amount. This way you are running the show. That would be detailed in economy. In this session, I have only one suffocation, that earlier I was having free bird like any area I was entering, but right now, naturally, when a team is addressing, I have to constrain that. So let me tell you, IMF for that reason, World Bank that reason, thereafter GATT was for multilateral trade, but along with GATT, that is 45 to 48, 1945 to 48, in 1949, NATO formed. That surprised the entire world, and surprising even today. And let me tell you one thing, everything, it should be like common man understanding, that you get the concept. Why NATO is so prominent even today, why every country now, Sweden, Finland, so peace-loving, beautiful country, they are also very much keen to get into NATO. Why are? You please tell me. आप बताओ. Why Finland, Sweden, like peace-loving country, they are so keen to get into NATO? Nice of you, you answered. He is not able to answer. Why? Because please change this practice. है ना, ये पे नहीं करेगा आपको. आप लोगों को how many times I should remind you that you are engrossed in just writing. First you think of what is the attraction of getting into NATO. This will give you concept to read further. NATO, to make you understand, NATO is like boys' hostel. What is the charm of boys' hostel? When you stay in boys' hostel, you are boss. Because if you come on outside, if you hit someone, no problem. But if someone hit you, क्या फायदा है? Immediately get back to hostel and just say, you know, that person who Inqilab Jindabad, entire hostel came out. And then, could you get it? Then entire hostel started beating. This is your advantage. And NATO is same kind of organization. NATO is same kind of organization, that NATO is also having this kind of charm. If you are a member of NATO, if you hit someone, they just keep smiling. You hit, very nice, good, keep on. And if you are hit, you came back. मारा है. कौन मारा? Russia. Entire move. Then you say, why not in Ukraine case? In Ukraine case, they did not come out because Ukraine is the kind of boy who, without getting into hostel, started fighting. Could you get it? First, they should have got into NATO, and thereafter they should have invited confrontation with Russia. They, before getting into NATO, and NATO boys hostel also asked that boy, उसको मारना है पुतिन को, ना मारना है, मारो, हम लोग हैं, we are. Zelensky कूद गया, लगा दिया. And thereafter this, then Putin, Vladimir Putin, Russia, he got back, घेर लिया चार बगल से. Then Zelensky asking, uncle, beta, you are not member of NATO. See, now this is informal language to make you understand. अब देखो क्या होता है ना, तुम लोग जैसे talented हो, the kind of talents you have, if you get into day-to-day example, and thereafter you are writing like NATO membership has disadvantage formally, you would be smart to explain further what is the advantage. And naturally, thereafter NATO to Warsaw Pact to non-alignment to multiple alignment, everything would be very crystal clear to you. And thereafter, whatever week you are studying, you would be enjoying international relation, because international relation is just like human relation. It is like if I am your friend and you are having some problem with him, then I have to choose whether I should maintain your friendship or I should start same kind of relations. But Narendra Modi has emerged a global leader kind of that he is shaking hands with everyone. Shaking hands with everyone. It is like that he is having engagement rings, bulk of engagement rings he is having. And he asks everyone, I love you, I love you, I love you. And everyone is start accepting also. I tell you one thing, it is your age example. One girl on Valentine's Day, she was trying to find out a very good card. So she searching, one card she liked. And that card it was written, don't mind, just girl, boy, any maybe. So the card was written there, I love you and you and you only. That girl was very happy. Thereafter that girl ordered to shopkeeper, Bhaiya, pack 1 dozen card. 1 dozen. That does mean to 1 dozen, she is going to send message, I love you and you and you and you only. Same is the leadership of Narendra Modi. That is the art of leadership, no doubt, unbeatable. But how formally you would be writing? Formally you would be writing how he is able to take confidence of West and East together, how he is successful in looking at East policy. Everything would be crystal clear to you. So, I repeat, when you study, आप लोग सब ये आदत बना लो. आप क्या करो ना, first you always go through the text properly, video properly, YouTube, documentaries, understand things, and thereafter set sequence and start writing. It will be totally in your mind always. Whenever you are asked to explain, you will explain it. So United Nations, now one by one, it has, first I am giving United Nations, established in 1945. The basic objective was to avoid Third World War. Permanent member, all the winners of Second World War, permanent member. USA, UK, France, Soviet and China. Except China, all were winners of Second World War. They were permanent member. Now, United Nations at that point of time itself, when it started, it was having 51 members. Now UN has 193 members. And United Nations has 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members. Out of 10 non-permanent members, India has become one of the non-permanent members. How many times? 8 times. It is from 21 to 22, continuing. Now the question is, these non-permanent members, what is the seat allocation of non-permanent member in entire world? Seat allocation. Then you would say, sir, seat allocation of 10 members, and any one of you please interpret, seat allocation. It is for Asia and Africa together, 5 seats. For Western Europe, 2 seats. Latin America, 2 seats. And Eastern Europe, only 1 seat. Majority of you, please, talent ko use karo. If somebody asks you, 5 seats to Asia, Africa together, so huge Asia, Africa, only 5 seats. And 2 seats to Western Europe. That does mean United Nations formed with Western powers influence. I repeat, 2 seats to Western Europe, 2 seats to Latin America. Latin America, pampered country of America. So 2 seats to Latin America, 2 seats to Western Europe, only 1 seat to Eastern Europe. Why? Because Eastern Europe was towards Soviet. Suppose this is Europe. you are sitting Europe. This side, suppose I am standing here, I am US. This is North Atlantic. This is North Atlantic. You are Western European country. So naturally, I am favoring you, Western European country, and those who are sitting that side of wall, you are Eastern European country, and the young man sitting in the last, who is Soviet Union. So naturally, he is Soviet Union, I am US, a bipolar world, I am superpower. I would like to give more and more favor to this Western European country because you are prosperous country and money generates all power. So Eastern Europe only one seat. Entire Eastern Europe only one seat, and Western Europe at 2 seats. Latin America, my beloved country, 2 seats. So 2 seat, 1 seat, 5 seat, and 5 seat Asia, Africa together, 10 seats. Now, just 1 minute please. Out of these 10 seats, India is of course non-permanent member. Now India, when it was sanction was raised against Russia. What is the process of sanction? Process of sanction is, please try to understand, process of sanction is, I repeat, if you want to impose any sanction from United Nations, out of 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent, majority will count. Could you get it please? Out of 15, 8 must favor any decision. Got the point? Out of 15, that means 5 permanent, 10 non-permanent. 8 must favor a decision. But what happened when Russia was about to face sanction due to Ukraine, that India abstained, China abstained. And because of that, what happened? Sanction could not be imposed against Russia. Now the question is, this is UPSC question, why did India abstain in favor of Russia? Simply by writing friend, it is not going to be in UPSC answer. Then you have to write why India favored Russia. There are so many reasons. First reason is gunboat diplomacy. I deliberately speak so. Gunboat diplomacy, so that majority of you would be like this. Gunboat diplomacy. What it is? Because once you become curious, then I enjoy really telling you. And if you are simply listening, then I don't enjoy. Because there has to be curiosity. So what is this gunboat diplomacy? Why India favored, why India abstained to favor Russia? That we would be writing. I'll be giving you all detail. First you write whatever we have got right now. You start from point after point. Second World War witnessed nuclear bombing of Japan. Second World War witnessed nuclear bombing of Japan, which was shocking for entire world. Therefore, shocking for entire world. Therefore, efforts were made to avoid Third World War. Efforts were made to avoid Third World War by establishing series of organizations which included point 1, United Nations to promote world peace. Point 1, United Nations to promote world peace. Next, IMF for short-term loan on higher interest rate. IMF for short-term loan on higher interest rate to stabilize exchange rate. IMF for short-term loan or higher interest rate to stabilize exchange rate. Next, World Bank for long-term loan. World Bank for long-term loan on lower interest rate. World Bank for long-term loan on lower interest rate to develop infrastructure. long-term loan on lower interest rate to develop infrastructure. Infrastructure. Next, GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff was established, was made. GATT was made to promote multilateral trade. This is based on the principle to promote multilateral trade. This is based on the principle that surplus producing country, that is applicable to India now, please take care. The surplus producing country must export. Surplus producing country must export, and same export earning should be used for import. Same export earning must be used for import. Next point. These organizations are fundamentally led by UN, which was founded in 1945. Fundamentally led by UN, which was founded in 1945 with 51 members. 1945 with 51 members, and now it has 193 members. Next point. Any sanction or military action must be passed by majority. Any sanction or military action must be passed by majority among 5 permanent, and 10 non-permanent members. 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent members. 10 non-permanent members. Next point. 5 permanent members are USA, UK, Soviet. 5 permanent members are USA, UK, Soviet, now Russia, France and China. However, non-permanent members get elected for 2 years only. Non-permanent members get elected for 2 years only. Next point. Each permanent member enjoys veto power. But non-permanent member does not have veto. Next point. Seat allocation, very frequently asked question of UPSC. Seat allocation of non-permanent members. Non-permanent members. Seat allocation of non-permanent members include 5 seats for Asia and Africa together. 5 seats for Asia and Africa together. 5 seats for Asia and Africa together. 2 seats for Western Europe. 2 seats for Western Europe. 2 for Latin America. 2 seats for Western Europe. 2 for Latin America. And only 1 for Eastern Europe. 2 for Latin America and only 1 for Eastern Europe. That shows pro-West United Nation, point to be noted. That shows pro-West, pro-US. That shows pro-West United Nation. Next point, India has got non-permanent membership. India has got non-permanent membership for 2021-2022. 2021-2022, which is eighth time. Next point, India's position is in news. Next point, India's position is in news. India's position is in news because of abstaining from voting, to favor Russia. Because of abstaining from voting to favor Russia. The decision is based on number of reasons. The decision is based on number of reasons which include dash point 1, 2, 3, 4. Point 1, military support in Indo-Pak War 1971. Military support in Indo-Pak War 1971 against nuclear threat. Military support in Indo-Pak War 1971 against nuclear threat by US. Against nuclear threat by US to India. I will explain you right properly first. Against nuclear threat by US to India. It is called gunboat diplomacy. It is called gunboat, very frequently asked question. It is called gunboat diplomacy. Gunboat diplomacy, point 1. Point 2, you are writing reason why India favored Russia. Point 1. Point 2, trade and technology support. Trade and technology support. Point 3, nuclear energy support. Point 3, nuclear energy support. Nuclear energy support. Point 4, diplomatic support. Point 4, diplomatic support in case of surgical strikes. Diplomatic supports in case of surgical strike. In case of surgical strike. And point 5, support in case of serious issue, support in case of serious, grave issue, support in case of serious, I am speaking serious, grave, support in case of serious issue like Article 370, support in case of serious issue like Article 370 and removal of special status. Article 370 and removal of special status. Removal of special status. Change the para. All these factors make Russia, again this is question, all these factors make Russia all-season friend to India. All-season friend. All these factors make Russia all-season friend of India. All-season friend of India. So India has always been, in the same line, so India has always been pro-Russia. India has always been pro-Russia earlier pro-Soviet. India has always been pro-Russia, earlier pro-Soviet, when it was Soviet Union, pro-Russia, earlier pro-Soviet in terms of its foreign policy and diplomacy. India has always been pro-Russia, earlier pro-Soviet in terms of foreign policy and diplomacy. In terms of foreign policy and diplomacy. Now, please hold for a minute to make you understand. एक बात और बता दूं आपको. It's a very important. When you come back and taking pain and keen to know, that gives me motivation, energy, because all of you, not all of you I would say, majority of you, when you come back, in spite of having post-lunch session, you always feel like that there should not be low energy. I am quite senior to you. Or if you are in post-lunch session, you are low energy, think of yourself this examination. You have to change your lunch pattern also. Because it is really, you can't afford in this examination 3 hours, 20 question. You sit before mirror, you will get to know. I am not pointing out especially. Sit before mirror and ask yourself. Straightway ask yourself, will you be able to write 20 questions in 3 hours? Straightway look at mirror. Mirror never tell lies. And you will say, and that too 150 words in 8 minutes, 250 words in 10 minutes, that is the time distribution. And that too, not only writing, understanding question, cracking question, writing question. And one after, getting the point please? ये जब develop करोगे ना आप लोग, तब वो आएगा. Then only that feel will come that yes, you are able to write this examination. Getting it properly, young lady? Getting it properly? So please, I remind all of you, क्यों मैं ऐसा suffocate करता हूँ जानते हो? When I explain that what first reason gunboat diplomacy, when 70-80% face is like, sir, what happened, sir? Then you feel very much delighted to take 20% also into confidence. You know, why do we favor Russia so much? I give you few lines just to hear me. Dekho, thankfully none of you then born, but I was in school, unfortunately, when 1971 war broke out. And you know, on 3rd December, you are all fortunate sitting in class. I am the only unfortunate standing in class. That's why I am standing. I tell you, on 3rd December 1971, Pakistan carried out attack over India. And within 3 days, Janet was Nixon, American president. और आप जब interest होगा ना आपको, when you have that much of interest, then only you will be able to cover international. Otherwise, international relation, international organization, foreign policy, diplomacy is not your cup of tea then. Very difficult. But it is your cup of tea provided you are very much keen to understand that international equations. So I tell you one thing, in 1971 war, once again, what was in 1971? Let me tell you what happened. It was East Pakistan that was forming as Bangladesh. Let me further tell you, my body, if you take this account, this is East Pakistan, this is West Pakistan. Earlier it was West Punjab, it was East Bengal. East Pakistan, West Pakistan. And East Pakistan, Bengali culture. West Pakistan, Pathan culture. And in West Pakistan, parliament, president, army, embassy, intelligence, everything there in West Pakistan. Islamabad, capital, West Pakistan. East Pakistan has nothing. East Pakistan are totally deprived. Because of that, East Pakistani started asking for separate country, Bangladesh. Bangla culture, Bangladesh. Naturally, that much detail I won't give you here right now. It's not required that much, but yes, I am giving you clue. But when naturally they started demanding separate Bangladesh, आप लोग those who are sitting in last row, getting me very properly, please? Getting it? Very nice. So nice of you. So this East Pakistan, when they started demanding separate Bangladesh, it was led by then leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And naturally West Pakistan has culture. That is culture. If someone speaks against the Pakistani ruler, they face military action. So naturally it was military action started. military action has started in East Pakistan. Lakhs and lakhs of people brutalized. Naturally, refugee at that point of time, a huge number of refugees started coming to India. And India was fighting against Garibi, poverty. Indira Gandhi won election 1971, Garibi hatao. We had been fighting against Garibi, poverty. And even then we started giving shelter to them. You may ask questions, sir, why India provided shelter to them? I ask you, counter question, can you stop 80, 100 people coming to your doorstep and begging before you? And you say, maar denge. They said, ready to die. Maar do. How can you kill them? Naturally, India provided that much of support, and then West Pakistan started accusing India that India is interfering into internal affair. India is interfering into internal affair. Naturally, that Pakistan raised voice up to United States because that is the patent uncle of Pakistan throughout. Whenever, right now Pakistan is not in that shape, but earlier it was like Pakistan, slightly penning, uncle. Anyone, India slightly looking at uncle. What is called gunboat diplomacy, military polarization. Then you say, why US supporting? US supporting, it is like why thou supporting number of gang leaders in Mumbai? Then only you can rule. Chota chota jo gunda hota hai, they are patronized by bigger gundas. So bigger gunda don't operate themselves. Bigger gunda is sitting like lots of mala, tikka, sitting there and speaking about non-violence. Non-violence. And really they are the people who are operating through violence. Same international politics also. So naturally, because of that, what happened? Pakistan accusing India of internal affair. Then China further said, if you take interest, all point would be giving you. China further supported Pakistan. On what ground? China said, yes, Pakistani. Yes, India has habit of interfering into internal affair. Our Tibbet issue, Dalai Lama extended some political asylum. When China started giving support to Pakistan, Pakistan, balle balle, yes. Thereafter, Pakistan turned towards US. Uncle said, when China is supporting you, we are also supporting you. This is high time for you to attack and take control of entire Kashmir, because Kashmir is the only agenda. Naturally, Indira Gandhi was seasoned leader. Indira Gandhi at that point of time, I am giving you this much of detail to understand you, to make you understand, please. Indira Gandhi in 1971, she could make out that Pakistan will carry out attack by having support of China and US. You may ask one question, sir, China and US supporting Pakistan, India alone cannot fight them. Naturally, Indira Gandhi, then Prime Minister of India, she immediately visited Moscow. And Moscow welcomed Indira Gandhi because we also tried to develop some uncle, our uncle. Then it was Leonid Brezhnev, who was president of USSR. He welcomed Indira Gandhi, and Indira Gandhi signed military and technology collaboration with Soviet. Military collaboration does mean if India needs military support, Soviet will provide. And thereafter, Indira Gandhi, by signing this in August 1971, what is called foundation of gunboat diplomacy. Gunboat means your diplomacy is based on gun loaded on boat. I think in this class, few candidates must have heard of 7th Fleet. 7th Fleet Enterprise, that is nuclear warship of US. Very deadly warship that is. So I repeat, it is called gunboat diplomacy, what I am discussing right now, because gun mounted over boat, nuclear warships. So naturally what happened, Indira Gandhi signed with Soviet Union in August 1971. And to make you understand, you are younger, so I am trying my level best to make you understand. Indira Gandhi, while signing, she looked at US. It is like that, if you are going to support Pakistan, our uncle is also getting ready. And naturally, and here I am trying to make you understand this way, simplest possible way, so that if I get activated to ask, generally I don't ask question in class, don't ask, because out of one feel in mind, if the candidate with so much confidence I ask a particular candidate, you please answer, if the candidate is not able to answer, then I start feeling very low. My energy level goes down. So I don't take risk by asking question. I simply ask question to activate candidate. And that too, even 1-2 candidate not able to activate, then what to do? But yes, then only I refer them as aluminum, remaining are uranium. That means the aluminum cannot be converted into uranium. Uranium can be processed in 235, 233, 230, everything. But aluminum cannot be processed to uranium. So I repeat, when Indira Gandhi signed, thereafter, this was Soviet, it was foundation of that Soviet which we are favoring today. And naturally, on August we signed, in December, 3rd December, Pakistan attacked. And hold your heart, 3rd December, Pakistan attacked. 6th December, just 3 days after, US along with nuclear warship, it is Bay of Bengal, nuclear warship stationed. Not only that, you are true Indian, ask yourself, you hear this line on net, and then if your blood does not boil, it is water in you then. You go on net and you will find US administration on 6th December 1971 issued nuclear warning to India, and you know what the language was? Language was, India must declare ceasefire unilaterally, or else India would be wiped out from world map. अभी भी वो लाइन पढ़ो ना नेट पर तो लगता है वाइप करने नहीं, अब तो हम वाइप करने के. Now we are capable of wiping others. This is the way, because sometime insult is must. Chanakya was insulted by Dhananand, because of that Chanakya become Chanakya. It happens. When you are insulted, two things happen. Either you bow down and leave preparation, or you become so aggressive like injured lion and lioness. And you prepare, make ranks, and thereafter you touch feet of those people who had been skeptical of you. This is your metal. So I repeat, on 6th December, and not emotional, professionally I am speaking. On 6th December, nuclear warship, warning to India. Overnight, Indira Gandhi sent SOS. What is SOS? Save our soul. SOS. You should study properly, please. These are very common terms used in newspaper. SOS. Save our soul. That is diplomatically last word by any country if the country is facing some sort of threat. SOS sent to. SOS is sent even by an officer also. You are an IPS officer surrounded by Naxalite from all sides, and you exhausted arms and ammunition. On wireless, only one thing you can push, and that is SOS. Headquarters will activate your support. So it was SOS sent by India, and can you imagine? Within 2-3 hours, that we never forget, within 2-3 hours, Soviet warship surrounded India from all sides. Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal. Now, nuclear warship of US and nuclear warship of Soviet face to face. They did not fight to avoid Third World War. Had they fought, Third World War. Even today in Ukraine case, they did not fight to avoid Third World War. Now both are face to face. What is referred as gunboat diplomacy. And since then, thereafter, naturally when US also present, Soviet also present, in presence of two superpowers, then India fought with Pakistan, and on 16 December, what happened? अगर आप ऐसे आप लोग रखोगे तो क्या मजा आएगा, फिर से पढ़ने मन भी नहीं आएगा कभी कि क्या पढ़ा हम लोग. 16 December one cannot forget that one 90th world history में ऐसा नहीं हुआ है. 93,000 army soldiers and officers of Pakistan was captured by Indian army, including general. It never happened in world history. And thereafter they surrendered prisoner of war. And it was that day only, 16 December. We captured them, put them prisoner of war, and 1972 by Shimla agreement we let them go back to their country without single scratch. एक scratch नहीं लगाया उनको. Or let them go back because they had been in uniform. And see what is happening. They are trying to behead security person. Sometimes they behead security person. This is the reason. It's a question of mindset. It's not a question of diplomacy. So because of that reason, because since then Soviet had become India's all-season friend, and thereafter military support, technology support, nuclear energy support. Which nuclear plant in India is constructed by Russia? Only 1-2 are responding. You people are equally talented sitting there in specs. I do expect too much of talent from you people. But completely neutral like, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. ऐसे थोड़ी हो जाएगा. It is difficult to qualify when group 1. You are talented people, no doubt about it. You are not going to give me any sort of award. I don't like even. But I really speaking, that has to be a body language on your face. Ki sir, this is what it is. That nuclear Kudankulam plant Tamil Nadu. Simply this is any kid can speak. You would say, sir, Kudankulam plant in Tamil Nadu is 1000 megawatt each, sir. Commercially viable nuclear energy plant that has been made by Soviet in Russia in India, sir. So they are providing us military support, technology support, trade support, nuclear energy support. We carry out surgical strike in Myanmar. Kab kiya? 2015. Do you understand when surgical strike we carried out in Myanmar? Myanmar is very favored country of China. China next day would have asked India, क्या है ये सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक? इफ चाइना एक बार आपको ऐसे देख लेगा कि डू वी कैरी आउट, पसीने छूट जाएंगे आप. लेकिन सी द मोरल, as soon as we carried out surgical strike in Myanmar, China, before China could activate it, Vladimir Putin looked at China. This is what is called diplomacy. And why Russia favors India? Because Russia knows that because of NATO expansion eastward, only 2 countries are strong who can face heat of NATO. And these 2 countries are India and China. Because of that, Russia keeps China and India, China are bitter enemy. Not only enemy, India, China. And can you imagine, Putin is friend of Russia also, Putin is friend of India also. Because Putin realized Putin is taking off his own interest. He said, why to invite tension with India for sake of China, and why to invite tension with China for sake of India? Better keep both of them into good book. This is what is called diplomacy. When you are able to take everyone into confidence, in your family people say you are very diplomatic. Uncle is happy, Papa is happy, Mama is happy, Mummy is happy, everyone is happy, everyone appreciates you. That means you are in the good book of everyone. That is your art, what is called diplomacy. Because diplomats never speak in a straight line. Diplomats always speak in spiral lines. Happy, not happy, they won't explain. This is what is called in Russia, we favoring Russia. All the points, could you get it please? So first, military technology, military support. Second, technology and trade support. Then only it will be in your mind. मैं कितना भी बोल जाऊँ, ये है ना, ये blast करने लगता है. But I feel very nice of in the evening, late evening, when I feel that yes, at least 75 to 80% candidate would be able to write on their own. That's my achievement of the day. So I tell you, it should be on fingertips. Why India favored? Why India favored? Firstly, because of military support, trade and technology support, then nuclear energy support. Nuclear energy is the future of India now. Then comes diplomatic support in case of surgical strike. Then comes, we take major decision like 370, etc. Entire world starts speaking. And Russia does not speak. At the same time, Russia is the country which always support India's permanent membership in United Nations. Now, one point please, any one of you. Why does India? Now, another issue United Nations is, already I explained to you, another issue is United Nations needs to be democratized. What are the points you would say that United Nations needs to be democratized? See the objective question, please. See the objective question. I do expect, not by single session, but I do expect an approach so that you would be in the mains examination also. I repeat, you are asked this question, that India, you will ask this question, democratization United Nations is must because, point 1, foundation 51 country, now 193 country, true or false? आप लोग भी participate करो ना, participate करो. कैसे participate करोगे? आप कहोगे 51 to 193. It does mean, in spite of the fact that UN is not that active, but even then membership is increasing. That does mean more and more hope is increasing. So United Nations has to be democratized because it started from 51, now it is 193. Second reason what you can give, all the permanent members are nuclear country. Let there be some non-nuclear country. Third reason what you can cite, all the countries, permanent members are developed country except China. So let there be developing country like India. All further points what you can, देखो एक बार, I would have got much relief had I simply gave you write-up. United Nations, please try to realize it. United Nations should be democratized and I gave you start writing. But I speak so much before I give you write-up. It gives me inner satisfaction that you are not just writing for writing's sake. You are very much aware what points we should put, what objective point that United Nations has to be democratized. Then only you further write it and get registered here. Now, apart from all these reasons, one reason why India should give in permanent membership, especially if you are asked, you would say, sir, one very strong, very nice of you people. First, it is largest democracy. Second, it is India is the only country which has never been defaulter of United Nations. Whenever our contribution came to, in spite of facing economic crisis in India during Narasimha Rao, 1991 Prime Minister, 1991-92 financial year, we had no money. $2.2 billion just, lower than Pakistan, lower than Nepal हमारे पास था. At that point of time also, Narasimha Rao led India, contributed to United Nations without default. Third reason is, all peace operation United Nations, whenever Indian Army is called, Indian Army participated, and all other country, when their soldiers and officers die, they ask for compensation. India is the only country United Nations will never ever ask for single penny compensation. अभी हमारा एक मेजर मारा गया बेरूत में, हॉस्पिटल में था वो, हॉस्पिटल बॉम्ब हो गया, दैट मेजर, दैट शहादत मिला उसको, he martyred he is. But when United Nations asked for that there will be consideration for compensation, India in this leadership also firmly said no compensation. We simply want that yes, it should be acknowledged. It should be acknowledged. So these are some strong reasons which goes in favor of India, and because of that, because of the Macron, अभी जो गले मिल रहे हैं, क्यों मिल रहे हैं? Macron is also supporting India for permanent membership. US, of course, with some reservation supporting. UK, Boris Johnson अभी घूम के गए, अभी तो जाके फिर बोल रहे हैं. India has to be permanent member. Russia already बोल रहा है. Now the only bottleneck is China, and that is bottleneck because China, if China exercises veto, in that case the dream would be dream only. But yes, still we are dream, maybe dream. Your dream is become to IAS officer. There are so many challenges. But if your dream is so strong, you would be achieving the dream. If your dream is just weak, it won't be achieved. So this is the way we have covered 2 points. 1 point, why United Nations needs democratization. We covered United Nations. Why Russia we favored, that I covered. Then why democratization, that we are covering. And why India should be permanent member, that we are covering. Point out please, change the para. Therefore, change the para, one line. Therefore, Russia and US came face to face. Russia and US came face to face in 1971 Indo-Pak War. Russia and US came face to face in 1971 Indo-Pak War in support of India and Pakistan respectively. In support of India and Pakistan respectively, both the superpowers came together. Both the superpowers came together with nuclear power. Both the superpowers came together with nuclear warships. So it is referred as nuclear warship. So it is referred as gunboat diplomacy. Gunboat diplomacy. Change the para. India's support to Russia. Change the para. India's support to Russia has been opposed by many countries. India's support to Russia has been opposed by many countries, especially US. But even then, India's trusted friendship is appreciated India's trusted friendship is appreciated globally. India's trusted friendship appreciated globally, which goes in favor of India's claim for permanent membership. Change the para. United Nation has to be democratized. United Nation has to be democratized because dash 0.12345. United Nation has to be democratized, and when you write points, these points would be in subjective examination also and in objective also. United Nation needs to be democratized because dash 0.1. It started with 51 country and now 193 country. It started with 51 country, now 193 country, which shows global credibility. 0.1, 0.2, all the permanent members are winners of Second World War. All the permanent members are winners of Second World War. So let there be losers. Point to be noted, please. So let there be losers like Germany and Japan. Let there be losers like Germany and Japan. Along with India and Brazil. Let there be loser like Germany and Japan along with India and Brazil, commonly called G4, group 4. I think whole class must be doing G4. G4 are 4 countries which are claiming permanent membership. Germany, Japan, India, Brazil. Next point, please. You are writing about democratization. Why democratization? So you are writing point after point. Next point. Permanent members are developed countries. Except China. So let there be developing country. Let there be developing country like India also. Next point. Permanent members are nuclear country. So let there be non-nuclear weapon country also. Permanent members are nuclear country, so let there be non-nuclear weapon country also. However, change the para. However, India is heading towards nuclear armament. But even then, it deserves permanent seat. Because of being largest democracy. Non-defaulter, and active participant in peace mission of United Nations. Non-defaulter and active participant in peace mission of United Nations. Change the para. Altogether, one line you change it, altogether, India's position in United Nations, change the para, altogether, India's position in United Nations, comes from India's position in United Nations comes from India's foreign policy, and diplomacy. Comes from India's foreign policy and diplomacy. India's foreign policy and diplomacy, change the para, one line. Nehru as first Prime Minister, you 2-3 lines, then I will explain. Nehru as first Prime Minister is referred as architect of India's foreign policy. Nehru as first Prime Minister is referred as architect of India's foreign policy. However, foreign policy is in news. For various reasons. However, foreign policy is in news for various reasons. Under present. Foreign policy is in news for various reasons under present leadership. Which includes thereafter few points you write on. I will explain the whole detail of foreign policy, diplomacy, how is it working today, what is in news today. Few points, which includes point 1, 2, 3, 4. Point 1, just to write, I will explain, you get it everything, just to write. Point 1, principle of disarmament. Point 1, principle of disarmament. Point 2, non-aligned movement. Point 3, Panchashil and Neo-Panchashil. Panchashil and new. Panchashil and Neo-Panchashil. Point 4, Commonwealth in news. And point 5, military alliance. Point 5, military alliance like SCO. Quad. Military alliance like SCO, Quad, quadrilateral security dialogue. So military alliance, SCO, Quad, to counterbalance increasing influence of NATO. Increasing influence of NATO in Eastern world. Influence of NATO in Eastern world. Accordingly, now because further if you write, you won't be able to get what you are writing. So please hold writing for few minutes to make you understand what it is all about. I am speaking faster. If some of you getting slow reaction, you won't be able to get me. Sorry for that. But I will move faster now to make you understand lots of things. One go, see. Right now I explain what is India's approach in United Nations, what is India's United Nations democratization, what is its composition, why India is strong claimant, all these I explained too. Thereafter that means it all depends on India's foreign policy. Now in this class, to make you understand, I giving you one line. What is foreign policy of any country? It is very simple to understand, grassroots. The way you behave outside your family, that is your foreign policy. And the way you behave inside your family, that is your domestic policy. Very simple. The way you behave inside your family, that is your domestic family policy. The way you behave outside your family, that is your foreign policy. And your foreign policy reflects your family background life. So I repeat, for example, you are traveling by train and one old person is trying to put his bedroll over the seat. He is not able to. You got up and you put the bedroll. On the contrary, you ask them, sir, would you like to have lower berth, sir? They said, yes. It would be very nice of you. This is your foreign policy, but that shows your domestic policy. Are you getting my point, please? That means once I am trying to make you understand by day to day, simply I start speaking foreign policy, diplomacy, this is this. The way it is, as it is. So once again, I would say, like an individual, the way you behave outside family, foreign policy, behave inside family, domestic policy. Similarly, the way country behaves outside world, that is foreign policy. The way country behaves inside, that is country's domestic policy, not diplomacy. Then what is diplomacy? Diplomacy is based on reality. For example, our foreign policy says disarmament. We believe in disarmament. On the other hand, we are having Prithvi, Nak, Akash, Trishul, Agni, Brahmos firing after firing. Dad, fire kar rahe. Then suppose Narendra Modi is standing. People asking, sir, you said disarmament? Yes. Then what is this going on? This is diplomacy. That is foreign policy. Is it not double standard? No, sir. Narendra Modi replied, no, sir. Rather, as Jaishankar replied, as Jaishankar said, foreign policy stands for global interest. And diplomacy stands for national interest. When global interest, national interest conflicting, we prefer national interest. So this is what is diplomacy. Jaishankar was asked, is it not double standard? He said, ask yourself, the way he speaks. Ask yourself. It is not double standard. It is ideal to reality. Number of times you shift from ideal to reality. For example, don't tell lie, don't tell lie, don't tell lie. Tell truth always. It is ideal. And reality is sometimes tell lie. For example, one simple example, your batchmate is appearing in main examination. And his last paper he is going to write, and he has written examination very well. The day last paper he is going to write, you got message on his phone that his father is no more. Now, he came out of bathroom after taking wash, and he asked, what happened? He said, nothing. Blunt lie you are telling. In the interest of that, let him write the examination, because father is gone, he will not come back. At least you should be able to take charge of the family. So that means number of times you deviate from an ideal to safeguard interest. What is called, for example, don't you think communal violence broke out in the city? Person of one community hiding in your house. Person of another community came to search. What will you tell? Will you tell truth like, ki I always tell truth. This is my foreign policy. I am very ideal person. Telling truth. Are you asking about that person who is hiding in my house? Come. This is not acceptable, because at that point of time telling truth would be brutal. Telling lie, rather you say lie, blunt lie. No, nobody has come here. Really? Very sure, nobody has come. We would like to search your house. Oh, who you are? Who you are? Who will search? You will. How can you dare to search my house? Okay. Now, telling truth here is more practical. This is the way foreign policy, diplomacy operate in India. So, what are the basic pillars of foreign policy of India? Abhi likha hai. Disarmament, non-alignment, Panchashil, Commonwealth, and thereafter military alliance. Avoiding military, that you have written, avoiding military alliance. Avoiding military alliance. Now let me tell you one by one. Avoiding military alliance, have you mentioned that? Military alliance. Here the fifth point should be, like, first point is disarmament. I will explain further. Disarmament. Second is non-alignment. Third is Panchashil, Neo-Panchashil. Fourth is Commonwealth grouping. And fifth is avoiding military alliance. Avoiding military alliance, but in reality you would be studying about SCO, Quad, etc. So avoiding military alliance. Got the point? Now, avoiding military alliance. Now just hold for a minute. First principle is disarmament. This is in news today. Once again, our foreign policy is in news because on one hand we speak about disarmament, on the other hand our leadership believe in armament. In term of Arihant, whole class, I'm sure you know what is Arihant? Nuclear warship along with nuclear warheads, and I know that all of you don't know, I know that. But even then I respectfully speak like that so that some of you sitting who really don't know, and I say all of you must be knowing, he or she should feel slightly pain. My God, he is taking us granted. I should stand up. I should move. This is a deliberate attempt to activate you, pinning you from all sides. It is like that. Once again, our foreign policy principles, our major principle of foreign policy, that is in news because of this. We have ideal of disarmament, but on the other hand we are going for nuclear armament. Nuclear armament in terms of nuclear warship, Arihant. We have nuclear command. Where is nuclear command? Of course in Delhi. What is nuclear command is having in India? ये अपने को अच्छे से पढ़ना चाहिए. Disarmament, let me first explain. Disarmament is in news. Once again, disarmament is in news in foreign policy because on one hand India is projecting ideal of disarmament, and any one of you ever try at your home, speak here, stand here, speak for half an hour. Speak for half an hour. Extempore. Then you will realize what effort it is. What effort it is to make other understand. This will make you realize. So once again, please. Foreign policy of India is in news in this current affairs session because India has projected itself as champion of disarmament. But in reality, India is moving towards armament in terms of nuclear warships, Arihant, submarine. In terms of Prithvi, Nag, Akash, Trishul, Agni, Dhanush, Brahmos, all with nuclear warheads now. In terms of, we are having nuclear command. Nuclear command is in Delhi. And in this class, majority would be knowing that all other army command, supreme commander is President of India. But nuclear command is commanded directly by Prime Minister of India. Nuclear command, when nuclear command formed, it was formed in 2003 by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Right now, nuclear command is under control of this Narendra Modi. And who is the executive head of nuclear command? Some of you are very disappointing military. That I am expecting you कि ये लड़का impressive दिखता है, ये होगा कुछ इसमें. ये लड़की impressive है, होगा. कुछ नहीं, blank. आप सब जानते हैं अजीत डोभाल is National Security Advisor. He is the executive head of nuclear command. And nuclear command is headed by, this is in news, entire world is looking. Why world is hugging us? Why world is shaking hand with us? Nuisance value. Nuisance value is the highest value today. Now world has started realizing we are peace-loving country. If someone disturb our peace, we are able to carry out surgical strike also. घर में घुस के मारते हैं, और बहुत बुरा मारते हैं. Rather, जिसको मारते हैं वो ये बोलता है मारा नहीं. Say did not slap, and we say let it be. Let it be. They say out of their prestige they say नहीं जरा भी नहीं मारा. Very nice. अच्छा है नहीं मारा. This is it. So I tell you, this is disarmament, nuclear command. Nuclear command established in 2003 under Prime Minister head, and now is a National Security Advisor who is heading. How many reactors are in nuclear command? Nuclear command commands 22 reactors in India. 22 nuclear reactors. Out of 22, 14 are civil reactors, 8 are military reactors. Out of 8 military reactors, what kind of weapons we have? If somebody asks you this question, here I will clarify you. Out of total 22 reactors, 14 are civil reactor for power supply, 8 are military reactor for nuclear weapons. But nobody knows what kind of weapon we are having in nuclear with military reactor. Why so? This is defense secret. Had R.C. Sinha been knowing what are the weapons in nuclear command and military reactors of India, R.C. Sinha would not have been taking class in analog here. He would have been National Security Advisor of India. So it is defense secret. Don't ask this question, what weapons we are having. But yes, When it is not disclosed, then it is more powerful. Could you get it how? You are putting one, suppose, wooden cog here, and you are covering just. And any candidate coming close to you, say, don't come close. Huh? If it opens fire, what? What I have? What you have? No, that is defense secret. Naturally, if you don't have even, then you are creating panic. So India does not disclose, and then you read in newspaper, what ridiculous it is. In newspaper you find, China has this much of weapon, India has this much of weapon, Pakistan has this much of weapon. Oh my God. When you go into baseline, what is the source? The source is like Raghunath Mishra. One reporter is reporting. What nonsense. The question is that which country is going to give you that much of detail? Even in police station, if you go there and ask SO or police station, Bhaiya, Sarji, how many grenade you have? How many pistol you have? How many magazine you have? Ek laga ke dega. Ye security secret hai. Why? Who are you to ask this? I will disclose by senior officer. I won't disclose to you. So this is like that. So this is disarmament. Now, once again, disarmament is recently in news. Disarmament is recently in news because of discussion in United Nations. And India, like many countries of the world, they say disarmament is just a myth, not reality. This is in news. Abhi February mein hua. I repeat, where it happened in February? Commission of Disarmament. What is Commission of Disarmament? That is sister organization of United Nations. Let me tell you one line, thereafter I will give you write-up. Disarmament, Commission of Disarmament. In Commission of Disarmament, I repeat, in Commission of Disarmament, which is sister organization of United Nations, India clarified in February 2022 that we will go by armament because world is going to be unsafe and disarmament is a myth, not a reality. Why did India say so? India's ground is that disarmament can never be realized in the world. Aise karo, better forget it. Otherwise, I will keep speaking, and you won't be able to understand very properly. I am giving one simple example to make you understand very easily. Suppose you see this way. Suppose here we are, to make you understand, take this opportunity to make you understand easily. Here we are standing 5 nuclear power. We are 5 permanent members of Security Council, fine. Then suppose I am US, I announce on Commission of Disarmament, United States of America announce destruction of 5 weapons of mass destruction. Now, the question is, you ask, if 5 US has announced, then suppose Macron, France also says, we also 5. China say, we also 5. Now, what is the point in it? 5 of what? आप समझ रहे हैं? मैंने कहा, I said कि मान लो मैंने कहा ये 2 pen I say 2 pen I destroyed. One more faculty 2 pen I also destroyed. But the point is 2 pen of what? Suppose I have 200 pens. I destroyed 2 pen. Someone having 500 pen, he must destroy how much pen? 5 pen. नहीं समझ रहे हो आप लोग? I repeat, the question is, when you destroy your nuclear weapons under disarmament, what was in news in term of number? Then 5 members, if one member say, getting it? If one member say, I destroyed 5. The question is 5 of what? Then Joe Biden, you ask Joe Biden, suppose I am making you, Mr. Biden, you destroyed 5. 5 of what? Of what? Total strength we will not disclose because it is defense secret. That all other countries would say total strength we will not disclose before it is secret. Then if they are destroying 5, no meaning of it. So disarmament is just myth, not reality. Another way. This is called quantitative disarmament, which is in news. Now it is called qualitative disarmament. Qualitative means, just to make you understand, 1 minute dhyan kar lo. Qualitative disarmament, what does it mean? Suppose I am US. I selected an area in US, Nevada, where nuclear weapons are destroyed. I said this is a weapon of mass destruction. We are destroying it. And so other nuclear power will also destroy it. Now, suppose you are India sitting here. You are putting hand like. Then your another member country asks you, why are you smiling? He say, this is not weapon of mass destruction. They are befooling entire world. This is not weapon of mass destruction. Then he said, then when you know this is not weapon of mass destruction, why don't you point finger that Mr. Biden with the US, this is not weapon of mass destruction? Then what he would say? He would say, rather I shall be under a scanner. छोड़ो इसको, 1 मिनट में समझा देता हूँ. Your age group example. Suppose your father, just example. Suppose your father is in mood one day. It was good rain in Hyderabad. In evening, he called you up. Beta, come. I am in full mood of taking vodka. He asked you. But the point is that I have bottles, but I have no label. Bottle without label. Vodka, gin, white rum, all available. But he is confused which is vodka, although he is very much sure what is vodka. And you are non-nuclear weapon country like. So he called you up and asked, you as obedient son, you went there and you say, Baba, no Baba, this is gin. This is white rum. This is Baba, vodka, have it. What mistake have you committed? Could you realize? If non-nuclear weapon country claims with confidence that this is not the weapon of mass destruction, then US, France, China, Russia, UK, all together will ask one question. How do you know? This is not weapon of mass destruction. You are so sure. How do you know? Then you say, no, I know. It is not current affairs class. So how do you know? Naturally, thereafter, your entire nuclear command would be inspected. And your nuclear command would be inspected. Nikalega. They will find out you would be facing sanction because of that disarmament, whether it is in terms of number or in terms of quality. In either way, it is claimed as myth than reality. Because of that, when disarmament is myth, then better go for reality, what is called armament. That is the latest development on disarmament. Do you get it, please? Now point out, please. Change the para. Disarmament, change the para and make faster, please. Disarmament is one of the major principles of foreign policy. Accordingly, you have written, disarmament is one of the major principles of foreign policy. One of the major principles of foreign policy, which is regulated by Commission of Disarmament. Which is regulated by Commission of Disarmament. Which is regulated by Commission of Disarmament. This commission, the same line, this commission is sister organization of United Nations. This commission is sister organization of United Nations. This commission is sister organization of United Nations, which regulates disarmament process, which regulates disarmament process in terms of number and quality, which regulate disarmament process in terms of number and quality, in terms of number and quality. Change the para. Either way, number or quality, either way, non-nuclear weapon country like India, either way, non-nuclear weapon country like India cannot challenge the process. Either way, non-nuclear weapon country like India cannot challenge the process. I explained you why cannot challenge. Cannot challenge the process. Otherwise, India will come under scrutiny. Otherwise, India will come under scrutiny. India will come under scrutiny. Therefore, India's foreign policy stands for disarmament. Therefore, India's foreign policy stands for disarmament. India's foreign policy stands for disarmament, but its a diplomacy is armament. Point to be noted for question. India's foreign policy disarmament, but its diplomacy is armament. Diplomacy is armament to face the challenges of world. Diplomacy is armament to face the challenges of world. Diplomacy is armament to face the challenges of world. Change the para. India therefore carried out 2 nuclear tests. India therefore carried out 2 nuclear tests. Pokhran 1 in 1974. 2 nuclear tests. Pokhran 1 in 1974. Pokhran 2 1998. Pokhran 1 1974. Pokhran 2 1998. Followed by formation of nuclear command. Followed by formation of nuclear command in 2003. All you prepare for objective. Followed by formation of nuclear command in 2003. This is the only command. This is the only command headed by Prime Minister. Take note of objective. This is the only command headed by Prime Minister. Only command headed by Prime Minister and supported by National Security Advisor. This is the only command headed by Prime Minister and supported by National Security Advisor. Supported by National Security Advisor. This command controls 22 nuclear reactors. This command controls 22 nuclear reactors. 22 nuclear reactors, including 14 civil and 8 military. Including 14 civil and 8 military reactors. 14 civil and 8 military reactors. It is followed by development of nuclear submarine. It is followed by development of nuclear submarine named Arihant. Nuclear submarine named Arihant in 2018. Development of nuclear submarine called Arihant in 2018. Change the para. Apart from disarmament, change the para. Apart from disarmament, non-allying movement. Apart from disarmament, non-allying movement is in news. Non-allying movement is in news. Basically, and again just hold for a minute. Now about non-allying movement. All of you, one line if somebody asks you, what is the latest, where was the latest meet of non-alignment? कोई बात नहीं आप लोग, लेकिन ये इस स्टेट में बहुत मुश्किल है. It is non-aligned movement is already news. It is in Baku, Azerbaijan. It's not factual information. Only thing what I am missing, that's really painful for me. I was expecting not this much, that in preparation area, you are studious, no doubt about it. Hard working, no doubt. But putting your work in right direction, like non-alignment, they would be, UPSC will not ask latest development only. They will ask you about the foundation of non-alignment, where it first held. Now, I won't ask further, otherwise मैं बहुत demoralized feel करने लगूंगा कि क्या मैं बता रहा हूँ. I repeat for your sake, you see. Firstly, let me explain you. आप लोग इसको change करो थोड़ा सा अपने attitude को. You should be like more and more concerned about the conceptual clarity. That will give you upper edge. One by one, please. If you bring from here non-alignment, let me tell you, for your complete preparation within 5 minutes. See, in 1949, I repeat, in 1949 when NATO formed, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO was formed, then 11 country plus 1. Now NATO member has 30 members, 29, and Macedonia. Macedonia has become 30 member. If Finland and Sweden join, then 32. I repeat, again मैं आपको remind करता हूँ, ये factual information नहीं है. It shows your consent. It shows your consent. Concern होगा, you will having all these things. I repeat once again for NATO formed in 1949. When NATO formed in 1949, let me tell you this way. I am US. आप लोग इसके पीछे लगे रहते हो कि उसको नोट करना. I am not speaking ब्रह्मवाक्य. Everything is in content. The thing is that what is will make difference, that is your understanding. देखो क्या चीज है. जब Second World War के बाद, in Second World War, let me explain you. In Second World War, US bombed Japan. Then a world was expecting that US would be slightly apologetic. But US instead of being apologetic, I am speaking about non-alignment. मुझे बैकग्राउंड लेना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि आपने कोई आंसर ही नहीं दिया. अगर आपसे कोई पूछे व्हाट इज नॉन अलाइनमेंट यूनिपोलर वर्ल्ड स्टेटमेंट, हाउ मेनी मेंबर्स देयर, 120 मेंबर्स, हु स्टार्टेड, हाउ मेनी मेंबर्स स्टार्टेड, 25 मेंबर्स, हु वाज द फाउंडर मेंबर्स, जोसेफ टीटो, अब्दुल नासिर. तो ये अगर आपका तैयार नहीं है तो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ माई स्पीकिंग जस्ट. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आई डू टेक, आई एम नॉट डूइंग इन फेवर टू यू. फॉर माई सेटिस्फैक्शन आई एम गेटिंग इन टू बैकग्राउंड. किनको बैकग्राउंड से बता देंगे देन दे वुड बी प्रिपेयरिंग वेरी नाइसली अगेन. आई रिपीट, सो टेकिंग बैकग्राउंड इन टू once again, Second World War, Japan bombed. And Japan was bombed like 6th August, 9th August. 8th August, bomb कर दिया. Thereafter, everybody was expecting US will be apologetic. But US also started feeling insecure. Because murderer is always insecure. So US, because of being insecure, in 1949, US played or developed a stage. What is it? North Atlantic. It is North Atlantic. I am US here. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Had it been US Treaty Organization, then Western power would not have joined. Had it been Western power treaty organization, US would not have joined. So US was trying to make, for example, if you try to make yourself secure, don't you speak like this? We people of Telangana won't tolerate it. If you say, I, Amit Kumar, won't tolerate it, you might not be that secured. But if you say, we people of we youth of Hyderabad will not tolerate it, then you connected Amit Kumar with entire Hyderabad to generate your security. This is the feeling in formation of NATO. So NATO formed in 1949. When NATO formed, US along with Western European country. Then what happened in East, please? Naturally, in East, 7 countries, very nice of you. You are supporting, giving me energy. In East European country, what happened? Then Western European country looking towards US. Eastern European country looking back to their uncle. Soviet sitting last. Then Eastern European country, 7 countries together under leadership of Soviet in 1955 made Warsaw Agreement, Warsaw Pact. Naturally, when NATO formed 1949, Warsaw Pact formed in 1955. Thereafter, world became totally bipolar. When world became bipolar, then non-aligned movement started. How can it start? It is like your mummy papa sitting together. They are like NATO and Warsaw Pact. They are like 2 superpower, and one day they ask you one common question: whom you like more? Then comes non-alignment. Your mummy papa sitting together, and they are asking you very nicely, tell me whom you like more. Then you concept of non-alignment is clear to you, because you say, mama you, papa you too. They say, don't play diplomatic, tell us reality. Naturally, ask yourself in this class, here no exception would be. No one is in class would be maintaining equal distance from ma and papa. Some of you may be tilted towards ma, some of you may be tilted towards papa. Generally, boys are tilted towards mother and daughters are tilted towards father. Because of that, if you want to get anything done from father, take support of sister. That is the biggest diplomacy. Don't directly approach your father. If you need some sort of money, go through sister, and that will be better. This is it. So I repeat, and if sister has some development and want to convey to mama, because mama won't accept your development, then the sister is asking brother, taking that route, asking to approach mama. This is what is diplomacy of family that happens in the world also. So naturally, non-alignment means maintaining equal distance of superpowers. Let me tell you this way. Western Europe, NATO, Eastern Europe, Warsaw Pact, then we all third world country, we are called third world country. We started looking like this. We are newly independent country, Nehruji Prime Minister. Then what happened? One person also from Yugoslavia, he was also looking here and there. Joseph Tito. One person from Egypt, Abdel Nasser, he was also looking here and there. Then Nehru asked them. Then Joseph Tito said, me? Yes, come. Now Abdel Nasser, yes, come. Then they put their head together. And then Nehru developed concept of non-alignment. And non-alignment, what is non-alignment? जानबूझ के ऐसे बोल रहे हैं, देखो कैसे non-alignment is also an alignment. What Nehru had said, this is frequently asked question in UPSC. Non-alignment is also an alignment to oppose those alignment which are forming around superpowers. I deliberately spoke faster. I repeat, but some of you have got very easily. I repeat, non-alignment is also an alignment. Because we are now 120 group sitting in Baku. And when we are sitting in Baku, 120 country, and we are claiming we are non-aligned country, people are laughing at us. How can you are already group you are? Then we clarify we are the aligned, we are alignment to oppose those alignment which are forming around superpowers. Got it? So this is what is called non-aligned development, and non-alignment movement is to maintain equal distance of superpowers. But now any one of you please answer if it is. Very, very nice of you. When Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, world became dominated by US. It has become unipolar world. Now world has become multipolar. Multipolar, Japan, Australia, India, Iran, Israel, Brazil, all have become regional powers. Now what is the meaning of non-alignment now? This is UPSC question. Then you would reply, I won't wait, otherwise I will start losing. I would say, you will reply immediately, sir, non-alignment in bipolar world had objective of maintaining equal distance of superpowers. Now non-alignment is no more concerned with superpowers. Non-alignment is basically a socio-economic movement now. This is objective question. Non-alignment is basically a socio-economic movement now, taking issues like poverty, hunger, starvation, child exploitation, women empowerment, climate change, global warming. All these issues are on the front of non-alignment. Because of that, will non-alignment survive or dead? Very nice of you. आपने बिल्कुल देखो ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, आपने तुरंत कहा dead. They have immediately realized no. These issues when taken on non-alignment, these issues will remain alive forever. Poverty, starvation, hunger, women empowerment, child labor, climate change, global warming, this will continue forever. Because of that, non-aligned movement will continue forever. It is forever now. This is the way you have to prepare non-alignment. One line you prepare. Change the para, please. Basically, you have written basically, change the para, basically, when NATO formed in 1949, NATO formed in 1949, based on US initiative. NATO formed in 1949 based on US initiative, and then it had 11 plus US, then had 11 plus US. Could you get this point please? 11 member country plus US. Then it had 11 plus US as member country, which has become 29 plus 1, 29 plus US, which has become 29 plus US in 2022, which has become 29 plus US in 2022. Next point, it shows increasing demand for NATO membership. It shows increasing demand for NATO membership, and especially after Russia-Ukraine crisis. NATO membership, especially after Russia-Ukraine crisis. Especially after Russia-Ukraine crisis, Now Sweden and Finland like country. Now Sweden and Finland like country are very much keen to join. Sweden and Finland like country are very much keen to join. Next point. Next point. NATO provides military security to members. NATO provides military security to members. Military security to members, which is the greatest charm. Military security to member, which is the greatest charm of joining NATO. Which is greatest charm of joining NATO. In fact, in the same line, in fact, Ukraine crisis happened. In fact, Ukraine crisis happened because of miscalculation. Ukraine crisis happened because of miscalculation. As what miscalculation? Anything anyone can write in class. What's miscalculation? That Ukraine invited confrontation from Russia without. Could you get this? Ukraine invited confrontation with Russia before joining NATO. Had they invited confrontation after joining NATO, the scene would have been different. Could you get it? So it is because of miscalculation, because Ukraine invited military conflict with Russia. Ukraine invited military conflict with Russia before joining NATO. Had it invited after joining, the war could have been avoided. Had it invited after joining, the war could have been avoided. The war could have been avoided because of active support of NATO. The war could have been avoided because of active support of NATO. Because of active support of NATO. Next point. After formation of NATO, Eastern powers under leadership of Soviet Union. Eastern powers under leadership of Soviet Union went for Warsaw Pact. Eastern power under leadership of Soviet Union went for Warsaw. Warsaw, capital of Poland. Eastern country under leadership of Soviet Union went for Warsaw Pact, in which Warsaw is capital of Poland, went for Warsaw Pact, in which 7 Eastern European country joined Soviet Union. 7 Eastern European countries joined hand with Soviet Union. 7 Eastern European countries joined hand with Soviet Union. Change the para. The world emerged bipolar. Next one. The world emerged bipolar. Because of NATO and Warsaw Pact. World emerged bipolar because of NATO and Warsaw Pact. So third world countries like India. Third world country like India played active role. Played active role in launching of non-aligned movement. Third world country like India played active role in launching of non-aligned movement. Next point. This movement was founded by Nehru along with Nehru along with Yugoslavian President Tito. Nehru along with Yugoslavian President Joseph Tito, along with Yugoslavian President Joseph Tito and Egypt's President Abdel Nasser, Next point. First formal meeting was held in 1961 in Belgrade. All these are objective questions for prelims. First formal meeting was held in 1961 in Belgrade. Where Belgrade? Capital of Yugoslavia. Meeting was held in Belgrade, in which 25 member country participated. First meeting was held in Belgrade, capital of Yugoslavia, in which 25 member country participated. 25 member country participated, which increased to 120 members today. Which increased to 120 members today. Which increased to 120 members today. Next point. Latest meet has been held in latest meet has been held in Baku, 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 capital of Azerbaijan. Held in Baku, capital of Azerbaijan. Next point. The basic objective of NAM was maintaining equal distance from superpowers. Basic objective of NAM was maintaining equal distance from superpowers, but practically India has always been pro-Soviet. Which is diplomacy. Practically, India has always been pro-Soviet, pro-Russia, which is diplomacy. Next point. Foreign policy, again very important for S. Jaishankar, what he said. Next point. Foreign policy is mainly ideals. Foreign policy is mainly ideal to safeguard global interest. Foreign policy is mainly ideal to safeguard global interest. But diplomacy is real to safeguard national interest. Therefore, External Affairs Minister in bracket S. Jaishankar. While replying on World Forum, has addressed diplomacy of India. Keep in mind always. While replying on World Forum, has addressed diplomacy of India. By highlighting India's energy and military security. By highlighting India's energy and military security. Here, just 1 second. Any one of you, I invite you, please. In which reference S. Jaishankar has said this? India's energy security, in what reference he has said? What is in news? Purchasing from Russia. So, what he said, very nice of you. Yeah, please.
He said that the output of 1 week of India is equal to 1 hour of European Union.
You say, very nice. At least he's approaching, we should support him, because that's a very good thing, that it's not question of as Jashankar's speech. It's a question of your IAS pre and main examination. Because UPSC will never ask as Jashankar's speech. UPSC will ask for that latest statement by External Affairs Ministry reflect and their statement. सीखो इससे कि कैसे, how to, you'd say, sir, what he pointed out, when media asked that why is India importing this much of oil and gas from Russia, which is facing sanction, which has attacked Ukraine, Indian Foreign Minister clarified that first you focus on Europe. First ever any Foreign Minister of India could make diplomacy so real. ये आप लोग IAS बनना चाहते हैं तो ऐसे पढ़ना होगा, नहीं तो no chance. Group 1 में भी chance नहीं होता है. Group 1B. So make sure that these are UPSC question. It will be like, read out the following statement regarding energy and oil security of India. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 correct, 2, 3 correct, 3, 4 correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, none of them correct. Like that you have to answer. So what he said, that we are importing from Russia, that is fine. But first you focus on Europe. That means it is what he has highlighting, global interest versus national interest. He said, what India imports for a month, you European country import in an afternoon. आप अपने afternoon में जितना import करते हैं, that we are importing in full 1 month. How are you comparing our energy security with your energy security? What is your consumption? What is our consumption? And that shows that what is your climate concern, that is fake. Because you are consuming this much. Even American even American president visiting number of countries to address climate change by taking around 55, 56 warplanes along with aeroplanes. All emission of gas, if calculated, and then put before American president. You had gone there to address climate change, and you had gone there along with 55 entourage of planes plus warplanes. Calculate the emission level, what have you emitted on the name of climate change. Now this is the way world has started addressing. So UPSC will not ask any bookish question, always They will be asking you about energy security, about oil security, what's India's standard right now. So I repeat, here it is, non-alignment, that means India is ideal of non-alignment, but India is always closer to pro-Soviet approach. Now, after fall of Soviet Union, what is looking at this policy? अब मैं पूछूंगा नहीं तो मैं बड़ा frustrate हो जाता हूँ. Some candidate only replying, remaining just looking at. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. All of you have that gut. Suppose somebody asks you in this reference itself that how India evolved looking at East policy. Then you would say, sir, when Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, we had been pro-Soviet. And Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. Then world became unipolar. When world become unipolar, getting the point? World become unipolar. So, and that too dominated by US. US was always anti-India. So we looking at West, looking at US, we get no response. Narasimha Rao get no response. Thereafter Narasimha Rao started looking at East. What looking at East? ASEAN. What is ASEAN members? UPSC अब ASEAN पूछेगी, वो पूछेगी ASEAN पूरा फोरम क्या है, तो आप कहेंगे कैसे? ASEAN 5 ऑलरेडी, इंडोनेशिया, मलेशिया, फिलीपींस, थाईलैंड, सिंगापुर, सपोर्टेड बाय म्यांमार, ब्रूनी, लाओस, वियतनाम एंड कंबोडिया. These 10 members are ASEAN. ये फिंगर टिप्स पर होगा, 1 go में हो जाएगा आपका. Because they don't ask independent question, they ask question link to link. So here you are going to write that non-alignment has to maintain equal distance of superpowers. After fall of Soviet Union, thereafter we are towards looking at East policy. Looking at East policy means looking towards East, that Narasimha Rao could not make out, but Atal Bihari Vajpayee could make out, and thereafter we are successful. Why Narasimha Rao failed? This question, somebody asked you. You would say, sir, Narasimha Rao failed because West, we were not getting any support. And then we started looking at East. Suppose you have two friends, A and B. A is no more. Thereafter, you have, suppose, two choice, A and B. You are close of A, not close of B. A is out of Hyderabad. Now started looking at B. Will B respond to you? No, very nice of you. We will not respond to you because you are looking at B not out of choice but out of compulsion. आप किसी को बोलेंगे मेरी फ्रेंड आजकल हैदराबाद में नहीं है, will you be my friend? Looking at East policy, ये फेल हो जाएगा. क्योंकि वो क्या बोलेगी आपको? Your friend is out of Hyderabad, because of that you are substituting me as your friend. How dare you? So Narasimha Rao was looking toward Japan, Australia, ASEAN country by saying, since West are not supporting, so we are looking at East. Naturally, East did not respond to. But in 9/11 happened in America, terrorist attack. When America was under attack, America turned towards India-like country. Because India, naturally, Afghanistan, baseline, US realized that unless India is taken into confidence, it's very difficult to find out Osama. We are very close by strategic. So thereafter, US turned towards India after 9/11. Some wrong happens for good reason. So when the US after 9/11 started looking at India, then we also looked at US. Both of us got friend. When we got friend, and after having that friendship in 2001, Atal Bihari Vajpayee started looking at Japan, Australia, ASEAN country. And Japan, Australia also got Vajpayee ji, aye, looking at East. And that Vajpayee ji looking at East started today. Looking at East policy is so much successful under Narendra Modi because the foundation was led by Vajpayee basically. Now the question would be like UPSC question. I hope so that you are going through question year after year. You will find question like non-aligned movement in recent years has changed to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 correct, 2, 3 correct, like that. They would be asking non-aligned movement is now more relevant a statement. Reason, non-aligned movement is now socio-economic movement. Is it right or wrong? Yes, it is. Very nice. Once again, for those who are sitting in last row, I am repeating for your sake. Suppose the UPSC question is, non-aligned movement in present world seem to be more relevant statement. The reason is, non-aligned movement is no more diplomatic movement, it is a socio-economic movement. True or false? Very true. Because non-aligned movement has become socio-economic, so it will be relevant much more than earlier non-aligned movement. UPSC set question like this, statement, reason. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, read out a statement like that. So this way we need to prepare. One line you put in there, thereafter. Next point. After fall of Soviet Union, next point, after fall of Soviet Union in 1991, after fall of Soviet Union in 1991, world became unipolar. World became unipolar, dominated by US. World become unipolar, dominated by US. Dominated by US. India could not get response. India could not get response. Could not get response because of India being pro-Soviet. India could not get response because of India being pro-Soviet. Because India being pro-Soviet. So, India being pro-Soviet, so looking at East policy. So looking at East policy also failed. Looking at East policy also failed. Also failed. Next point. However, next point. However, after 9/11, 9/11 terrorist attack on America. Next point. However, after 9/11, US started looking at India. After 9/11, US started looking at India. Looking at India. And so India in turn could mobilize. So India in turn could mobilize support of Eastern world. So India in turn could mobilize support of Eastern world, especially ASEAN, and looking at East policy became successful. Especially ASEAN and looking at East policy became successful. Looking at East policy became successful. Next point. Now quadrilateral security dialogue. Now Quad is alternative of connecting India west to east. Now Quad is alternative in connecting India Quad alternative in connecting India from west to east because now this I think all of you know how Quad is connecting India west to east totally, because India is standing in between. One side is US, India, other side is two countries, be confident, very nice. Australia, Japan, other hand, and this side US. Quad meet अभी आपको पूछेंगे वो. Quad meet is already giving an opportunity to India to come closer to US, come closer to Australia, come closer to Japan. So it is connecting India west to east, from US to Japan, Australia. In between India is there. What is the objective? Counter maritime, firstly maritime security, and secondly increasing influence of China. Option would be given an objective. That Quad objective includes 1, 2, 3, 4. You get ready that way. Point out just connecting India west to east, in which Quad includes US on one hand. Quad includes US on one hand. Quad includes US on one hand, Australia and Japan on the other hand. Australia and Japan on the other hand. US on one hand, Australia and Japan on the other hand. On the other hand, the objective is to promote maritime security. The objective is to promote maritime security along with minimizing military influence of China, in South China Sea. Now, this is one thing that Quad is. Just 5-10 minutes I more required for your attention to conclude it very nicely. See, Quad, this is Quad. But which is the organization where instead of neutralizing China, we are sitting with China? You would say, very nice. You would say firstly SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That's why here. This is like a Shanghai Cooperation Organization led by Russia and China. The two are good friends, Russia, China. But thereafter, there are so many Russian federations: Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. It should be line fingertip. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. These four, China, Russia, and who are then sitting? India, Pakistan. The two rivals, India, Pakistan sitting together. The two rivals, India, China sitting together. The two rivals, Russia, Pakistan sitting together. This is SCO, is the organization, military organization, which is supposed to be alternative of NATO. But this military organization in itself, basically it's not going to have any sort of military expansion. When you are sitting with a country which is having rivalry with you and sitting with them in the same organization, naturally it will dilute your rivalry also. Are you getting me? If you are suppose rival, just I'm giving rival, but sitting together, sharing your class note, sharing your ideology, naturally all the differences in course of time will get down. So this is what is called Quad. Quad being neutralized by SCO, SCO further being extended by BRICS. ऐसे आप नहीं पढ़ोगे ना, एक बात बता दूं. If you are studying like this, take me very seriously. For your concern, I am asking you, all boys and girls, if you simply study like this, BRICS, SCO, Quad, Indian Ocean Rim, NATO, कुछ नहीं मिलेगा उससे. You have to interlink them, that which organization is reaction of what. Then you will get complete view of it. Complete view. And you will get command over international relation. However, for me, it's really very difficult. I'm struggling a lot. Even then, sitting in last row, time and again, there are talented candidates sitting. That's why I'm time and again addressing them. I'm trying to make them understand that at least they should have approach By that approach, they will cover maximum area of international relation. So here you are writing an approach is that after writing about Quad, then you are writing another alternative SCO, then writing another alternative, that is BRICS. All these are alternative organization to dilute regional tension, basically. This is the reason I stopped you before writing it. Change the para, one line you please put in. Therefore, change the para, therefore, Quad on one hand, is trying to reduce influence of China. Quad on one hand is trying to reduce influence of China, but on the other hand, India joined SCO. On the other hand, India joined SCO in 2017. India joined SCO in 2017, which is a regional military organization, It includes Russia and China. It includes Russia and China as leading country. Russia and China as leading country, followed by Russia and China leading country, followed by Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, followed by two rivals, India and Pakistan. Similarly, BRICS is also going to meet. BRICS is also going to meet as alternative organization. Which includes Brazil, India, Russia, China and South Africa. This is intercontinental. This is UPSC objective. This is Intercontinental Dialogue Forum. To promote global cooperation. Finally, one line to conclude today. India has got observer status. In G7. Now just 1 minute to conclude. इसमें आप जरूर बोलिए please. G7, who is dropped? Russia. Why dropped Russia? Very nice. I activated, I'm happy. G7 was G8 up to 2014. In 2014, Russia acquired Crimea. When Russia acquired Crimea, the way acquiring Ukraine, so Russia was dropped from G7, G8, now it has become G7. Who are G7? Very powerful country of the world. G7 include like this: US, France, UK, 3 already. Thereafter 2 countries you take out who are contender or permanent member, easy to remember: Japan, Germany, and thereafter Italy, Canada. I repeat, you got it. That is US, UK, France, Japan, Germany and Italy, Canada, G7 and getting observer status in G7 अभी मिला है. G7 अभी मिला हम लोग को, जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर का मीट यूरोपियन यूनियन से लौट रहे हैं. तो आप देखो इससे द बेस्ट एस्पेक्ट व्हाट वुड बी, ऑल दीज आर डेवलप्ड कंट्री. And if these developed countries start investing all together in terms of trade, technology and everything, naturally, apart from that, you would be getting support from Nordic country. Latest news. Who are Nordic country? Very nice. That time. Very nice. God bless. God bless. You are latest development you are taking up. That's very nice of you. The only thing what you do, because you are about to scale, the way you responded, God bless to you. What you see, latest development you pick up, and thereafter you dig inside the foundation, up to foundation level, up to ground level. It will be complete preparation for your objective, subjective as well as for interview. In one go you will qualify, no doubt about it. Professionally speaking, I have seen candidate qualifying in one go just because of this approach. So here, very nice of you. Point out please, change the para. G7, it is group of developed countries. It is group of developed in industrial country. It is group of developed industrial country, including US, UK, France, including US, UK, France, Germany and Japan, Italy, Canada, and all of them have good relation with India. And all of them had good relation with India. Good relation with India. This will open door for India's free trade. This will open door for India's free trade in European Union. India's free trade in European Union, including 27 members. Free trade in European Union, including 27 members. Change the para. So altogether, India's foreign policy and diplomacy. India's foreign policy and diplomacy is being promoted as ideal and real. This is concluding line, take note of. India's foreign policy and diplomacy is being promoted as ideal and real, in terms of global and national interest. In terms of global and national interest. And first time India's foreign ministry has clarified in plain words. First time India's foreign ministry has clarified in plain words that India will prefer national interest. If it is conflicting with global interest. India will prefer national interest if it is conflicting with. India will prefer national interest if it is conflicting with global interest. In terms of military and technology requirement. Energy security, environmental concern, and in attracting foreign investment to strengthen, in strengthening New India movement. Foreign investment in strengthening New India movement. In strengthening New India movement. Just 1 minute you give me to conclude nicely. We have taken international affair like how did we take? That is from foreign policy. Just give me 2-3 minutes. Thereafter, it is up to you to have how do you use this approach. I repeat, how do you apply this approach? When you cover international affairs, like national affairs I highlighted. When you cover international affairs, you first go by India's foreign policy, India's diplomacy. What foreign policy of India? Which principle? Principle of disarmament, non-alignment, Panchsheel, etc. Panchsheel I did not highlight right now. Panchsheel is with China. But one line I would like to highlight for you. We are having controversy with Galwan Valley. Any one of you, objective question, whose name is Galwan? No problem. I am activating you. Like Galwan Valley is in news. Basically, Galwan Valley, India is having very strong claim because it was Ghulam Rasool Galwan. Ghulam Rasool Galwan, who was basically a Ladakhi of Kashmiri origin, who was the travel guide, who was the explorer, after whose name Galwan river is named. So he is ours and our river is ours. Because of that, we have a strong claim over Galwan Valley. Second thing, with China, another issue is cropping up, that is Neo-Panchsheel. Neo-Panchsheel. Neo-Panchsheel, you remember very easily, Neo-Panchsheel, triple BTC. How to remember triple BTC? जब इतना आप time दे रहे हो, 2 minutes और दे दो, so that you should finish it very nicely. That one is Galwan Valley I will give you. Thereafter Panchsheel. Panchsheel was drafted in 1954 between India and China. Panchsheel was drafted in 1954 between India and China. Neo-Panchsheel, very few candidates know about Neo-Panchsheel. Neo-Panchsheel, just before India-China conflict, it was in news. Neo-Panchsheel, that includes triple BTC. Triple BTC, very easy to remember. It is because triple BTC, it is because first B stands for all issues bilateral solution. Bilateral solution. Second, it is priority to border dispute. Third, it is promoting business. Fourth, it is trade and technology collaboration. And fifth, it is cultural exchange. This is in news always. Just you conclude, footnote down. You might be not able to find it out detail. Change the para, one line you write in. In India's foreign policy, Panchsheel, Commonwealth grouping, Panchsheel, Commonwealth grouping, and military alliance had been core issue. Military alliance had been core issue. Change the para. Panchsheel was drafted in 1954. Panchsheel was drafted in 1954 and revived in form of Neo-Panchsheel which is referred in term of BBBTC, in which B stands for bilateral solution, Point 2, B stands for border dispute priority. Again, B stands for border dispute priority. Next, again B stands for business promotion. Next, T stands for technology collaboration. And C stands for cultural exchange. However, dispute in Galwan Valley has halted Indo-China relationship. Dispute in Galwan Valley has halted Indo-China relationship. But restarted in April 2022. Restarted April 2022 after visit of, I think whole class you know, after visit of Foreign Minister of China. 2022 April it is, last month. After visit of Foreign Minister of China to resolve Galwan issue. In bracket you write one line, Ghulam Rasool Galwan. You keep in mind always. In bracket, Ghulam Rasool Galwan, who was of Ladakhi origin. Origin of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakhi origin of J&K, was basically a mountaineer and travel guide. And after his name only, Galwan River and Galwan Valley. India is claiming for. This was thus after concluding event, I have given footnote that I had in foreign policy I left new Panchil. And one thing more, in foreign policy I had made last point, if you remember, that was military alliance, opposing military alliance. But you got the point that we oppose military alliance then. That was foreign policy. Now diplomacy, we are joining military alliance. Which military alliance we have joined? Very nice. फिर से बोल रहा हूँ, एक line सुन लो. Ideally, in foreign policy, we oppose military alliance. That I have given you in write-up. But in reality today, to safeguard national interest, we have joined military alliance like SCO and Quad. SCO we joined in 2017. So naturally, SCO is military organization. That does mean foreign policy is ideal and diplomacy is real. Entire international issues revolve around ideal and real. And India has made it clear that out of ideal and real, India will prefer to be real instead of ideal earlier. This is the approach to cover international. And with this approach, I hope, because of time constraint, I could not give you much, but with this approach, you cover all the international organization. But request all of you, please. एक request है मेरा, आप please इसको करके देखो. The kind of talent you are, only thing you required, you should not study independently, you keep interlinking the issue. Starting UN, going to sister organization, going to that in any way, you don't take up any issue. Like if you are going for NATO, go for SCO, because NATO is a Western power, SCO is emerging as a Eastern power. SCO, further Eastern and Western power emerging as Quad. I hope you are interlinking this way. I repeat, NATO Western power, SCO Eastern power, and Eastern and Western power getting connected by Quad. That is from US to India to Japan to Australia. If you start studying this day, I tell you, within 3 hours, within whole day, 9:30 to evening around 5:30 it is going to be. See how much area have we covered in spite of speaking so much. Write up, discussing. If you study on your own by interlinking the topic, professionally speaking, within 5 days or a week, you would be really command over international relation and international organization with all facts and figures. आप करके देखो. But yes, it should be with passion. It should not be just for doing sake. It would be working. Now what else? So this time it is, I operated within boundary, but hope so in next or most probably in mains examination this year, I will coming in that form, multidisciplinary approach, no boundary. And in main examination, if you write main examination, not if, I would say, you write main examination, then for preparing, concluding for main examination, for every paper, whatever current development it is, that current development, we would be taking with multidisciplinary approach by connecting society to culture, to politics, to economy, to technology, to environment, to defense, to diplomacy, everything interlinked, totally. God bless, work hard, but one thing, work hard in the sense, interlinking working, not individual working. As I pointed you out, India, you always prepare by interlinking instead of compartmentalized preparation. So do it. And request all of you, lastly before leaving you, instead of going through so many magazine, books, study material, don't do it. Just you do it, open your laptop or mobile, Google search. And what you do, if you are not able to understand on your own, what you do, you type lectures on non-alignment, YouTube, and thereafter keep listening to. There are fantastic speakers who are speaking over non-alignment. You will be catching up their conception and easily writing up. And you can hear them as many times as you want. Likewise, Google search main documents. Just to take out the documents, underline, print out, keep in your notes. Instead of purchasing so many magazines here, there, that will not work really. And before leaving once again, I'm really happy to share with you, all of you please go through the question paper as many times as you can since 2013 onward. That will give you immense pleasure in preparation. Because my security is that all the questions from 2013 onward of all the papers of general studies, whether I am taking those area or not, they are on my fingertips. So naturally, while delivering lecture, that question keep hitting me, and accordingly they keep giving me direction, that go this direction, go that direction, to cover those questions. See you next session as and when it is required. Thank you so much. God bless.